Welcome to Content Chaos with George and Call, a weekly podcast diving straight into meaningful conversations about navigating modern life. Using their weekly review framework, they explore personal growth, professional insights, and cultural observations. No fluff, just authentic dialogue that transforms chaos into clarity.
This week's episode brought to you by the number 51.
That's amazing. 51 and a lot of coffee.
That's right.
Never enough coffee.
No, never. I've got mine too.
Yeah. Okay, well, we are in the doldrums of summer. It's the end of summer. It's still summer. So I will fight anyone who says it's not summer because we still have...
It doesn't end for another month.
I know, but people are all projecting. The power of presence. We have to learn to live in the moment, right? It's still summer and it's my favorite season. So what went well for you in the past week?
Well, in the last week, I was like Johnny Cash. I've been everywhere, man. You know that song?
Yes.
And so I went to, since the last podcast, I went to Boston to pick up Hayden and get her out of her, I'm going to say it, her shithole basement.
Her shithole apartment.
It was just sight unseen, and she'll probably never accept any living quarters sight unseen again. She saved money. She got exactly what she paid for.
Yep.
And picked her up there, loaded her up, drove her back here so we could have her home for one day, like one sleep and one full day, and then down to UNC and did all the things that you do. Like she's in a great new house down there. And, you know, but we, of course, like you can't move into a house or a dorm without a massive trip to Target.
Of course.
And so this time, because everything was compressed, you know, we got to North Carolina, got to Chapel Hill at like, 9 p.m. and we closed. I've never closed a Target. I guess that's like a thing you do when you're older.
Yes.
So
you got to work up to that.
I shut down Target, and got her moved in the next day. Did my I'm very much, you get in a mode, like you put together that dorm room or college house type furniture, no written words, just pictures and whatnot. And I've done a ton of that over the years, that kind of stuff every parent has. But I find you do one or two pieces and you get back in where your brain is working, deciphering, remembering what to be careful on. I got all that done. But also had just a nice time with Hayden. She's in her senior year, and she had an amazing year this year, just, studying abroad, and then an amazing, keep using that word, internship with Pfizer, and she rocked it and did well and got great feedback, and she's just off and running and couldn't be more proud. But it was nice to have, while it was, tiresome, it's a long drive. I do have the long drive gene I got from, my dad. So I'm totally okay with it. It was a little bit of a white knuckle drive on the way back. I was going through some crazy, these storms we're having this year. We've had them around here where they go really fast, but they're really vicious. And you're just driving, it's nice. And then suddenly, oh my God, it gets this loud rain and I can't see anything. And then, it's okay again. And that happened a handful of times, but got home and, rested and back at it. So that was my whole went well. I've been everywhere, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you worked the hex wrench quite a bit.
Yes, luckily, I got down there and realized I guess it wasn't a rookie mistake. It could have been a rookie mistake. Like usually I show up and I've got the little tool kit and I've got like,
Yeah.
I forgot.
You didn't bring the dolly or anything, right?
I knew I didn't need I haven't needed the dolly in a while, and I knew I wasn't going to need the dolly, but but I showed up and I was like, oh my God, I don't even have a screwdriver with me, but didn't need it, because it was all hex wrenches. And when I did need a screwdriver, she actually had one. So I was proud of that too. So
I brought up the hex wrench because Christy, all my Notre Dame friends, we've all been texting each other about our kids getting back into their dorms and stuff. And Christy said, I worked the hex wrench really hard. So,
oh my God.
I don't even know what a hex wrench is. So that's why.
It's the little Allen wrench, Allen key. It looks like an L. And it's, the thing is, there are always many screws that are in a place where you can't turn it all the way. So it's like you're going from like 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock and pulling it out, putting it back in. And that's just my fingers, I've got they're too big for that. So,
Charlie is whimpering. I have to let him out. Just one second.
All right.
Okay, baby. All right. Charlie is not on board for the content chaos.
Yeah, that's fine. We still love him.
Yep.
So how about you?
What went well for me over the past week? I had my birthday last week on. Thank you, honey. Thank you.
You get 2 for that.
Thank you. No, it was a fun birthday. Maeve and Nate and I went to see Spider-Man in the theater on my birthday evening, which we really enjoyed. And I stayed awake for the whole thing. And the movie started at 8:15, so it's a good movie if I'm staying awake that late.
Yeah.
And it was just we had my nephew Liam's graduation belated kind of send off. He's going to Lehigh. He'll be a freshman at Lehigh. We had that up at my mom's house, and it was just good to see the McNallys and my godmother Anne and her husband Rob, and my brothers and my sister-in-law, and Mrs. Jackson was there. Mrs. Jackson is like one of those family members who became, or one of those neighbors who became a family member. Our families have been, together since forever, way back to the Cherry Place days in Hillsdale, New Jersey. And Mrs. Jackson, Mr. and Mrs. Jackson, very close friends of my parents. And I found out, sorry, very long-winded, roundabout way, that Holly Jackson in Australia, Kevin's wife, listens to our podcast. So,
okay.
Yes. Yeah. So we have a listener in Australia.
She's the other
very
listener.
Exciting.
Okay. All right.
Very exciting. But I got the update on Holly and the kids and Kevin and it was just a delightful. And then today, some friends took me out to lunch. You and Juan Manuel took me out to lunch, and I just feel very, I don't know. I'm a Leo. I like my birthday. I like the attention, and it's good. It's fun. So, okay. So that's what went well. What could be better?
Okay. So, nothing to report on the Battle of the Hedges or the construction this week. None of that from my side, anyhow.
Yeah.
Just for an update. It's sort of an ongoing thing. I think everybody wants to know.
Mm-hmm.
Our 2 or 3 listeners. So, for me this week, so this is more about like a pattern that I keep running into. It's not really about me, but I think I keep seeing this because of where I sit in my industry, in my work. So a lot of my work happens in public,
Mm-hmm.
online in this analyst and advisor space. So on the analyst side, that's more the public side where I
Okay.
put out reports and talk about the market. And, I do a lot of LinkedIn posting, and all of that sort of stuff and, that sort of thing. In the advisor space, I'm more off that's not very visible. I'm helping companies get to market and all of that, but it's all close enough to this influencer status, whether I like that label or not. I get thrown into that bucket now and then. And that visibility means I've been seeing two things up close that I think a lot of people don't. And the first one is this, it has to do with what I call the fake it till you make it crowd. And that crowd, and I'm not going to name names or anything like that, but that crowd that I'm talking about has been, on the fake it path for like some of these people I've known for decades. And I'm still like, wow, are you going to make anything or what? And some of them have been like for years, they've been faking it without getting to that make it part. But yet every week there's a new incredible claim that has, nothing to do with what they claimed the week before, and just like numbers that don't add up. So when you're paying attention, when you're close, when you're in it, when you're, I'm in there, putting stuff out there and so I have to see everything. And it makes me genuinely wonder, like, is the market buying this stuff, or am I just so close that I'm the only one that's, that sees it? Is that, or I guess both. Am I so close that I'm the only one seeing it? It's like stuff like, billions of dollars of, deals that I've impacted. And then, hundreds of companies I've done this for, and thousands of this and dozens of that, all coming from like the same people. And it's like, you can't possibly be doing all these things at once. You're one person, or two people. And that just caused that it really, I have to bite my lip a lot. The other thing I said, there were two. It shows up seasonally this time of year. I have a big role at the big HR tech conference that happens in the fall. This year it happens in October. We're a few months out, big industry event, and then people start crawling out of the woodwork. And it's the only time I hear from these people is when they want something.
Right.
They want an intro, they want a favor. Sometimes what they want is something that has real monetary value attached to it.
Yes.
It's work that it's things that I get paid for, and they want to jump in and be a part of it. And rarely does it come with anything in return. And I don't mean money. It's rarely is it like, I could use something from you, when I've given them something in the past, do I ever get a favor back, or do I ever they only think of you when they want something. So I sit with both of those long enough, and it starts to be the same story, not two different stories. Like, what happens when business relationships get performed, online instead of built, really built in the real world. And social media didn't invent this, but it's made faking credibility so much easier, and it's made transacting without any like reciprocity easier also. And so I don't like come from a place of like, I'm not like, I feel like I was wronged. It's more like my vantage point, and I notice it, I think, more than most, and noticing it is a good reminder to keep doing, the opposite. Like I try to show up consistently, lead with value, and let a track record speak for itself. And I just feel like I wish that, I wish that there was some way to impart that on because I feel like with this economy and where this is, I actually think some of them are going to run into a brick wall. We've been going through decades of growth. So you could fake it and kind of jump from one thing to the next. But I feel like there's a reckoning coming in a lot of different ways. And anyhow, this just this stuff just really, every year it flames up, and this year more than ever, it's just really irking me.
Hmm.
So that's it.
Yeah.
For
Well, it reminds me of fake it till you make it. Like I it's AI. It's the whole AI
oh
narrative
yeah,
that I mean, that's a corollary, but I just see everything through the lens of that. And it's like, it's a performative culture. I mean, I don't know when it started. I know that a big part of it, from my vantage point, started when we started to move more to digital media.
hmm
And, the whole idea that these were all like addressable, oh, it's all accountable, you can measure exactly the impact. And it's like, dude, like 40% of this stuff is all fraudulent. It's bot created. It's not real, but like nobody, we just kind of like swept it under the rug. And now it's gotten even more out of control.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, I mean, the phonies, the fakers, but
I
I,
mean,
I I just think nobody really pays much attention to them. I mean, they, yeah, but they're annoying. It's annoying.
yeah, because of where I have to be, and like like it is an active process of me like ignoring it. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I have to let it go a
yes,
lot, especially this time of year.
yeah,
So it's like every time I see, like you see something interesting and it's like, oh, here you are again with a comment.
yeah,
You've done this too. I know you haven't. I've known you for 20 years, and I know that you don't know what you're talking about,
yeah,
but
yeah,
okay, I'm just gonna move on and breathe, you know?
yeah,
So,
yes, yes.
um, but anyhow, how about you?
Okay, what could be better? I would say probably just, and it's a liminal stage right now. So like one season is over, the fall is starting soon. Um, I feel uncertainty. I feel um, just not totally focused, or I'm just in a weird liminal space professionally. And it's like any entrepreneur or any person who's pivoting, you go through periods where it's like, oh, what's happening here? It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
And I get the high of the summer, and then I it's the highs and the lows. So, yeah, I would probably say it's that, and just for myself, just my focus and my structure. Like I'm working on having more focus and structure, and I need to get better at those things.
Well, that's really quite honest of you to share that on the podcast, and that's good for you.
Yeah.
You're doing great. I mean, I would have, if you asked me to write a list of your strengths and things you're doing well at right now, I would have put like your focus and your drive.
Oh,
You're really working at everything. And
yes.
like you like your structure, like I see your lists, like I, so it's,
Yeah.
it's, so I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm like, you feel the way you feel, and that's all important to acknowledge, but I just want to say that you know, you're getting someplace, like you've had,
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, I'm the kind of person who, I create my own opportunities and my own spaces and all my own stuff. And there's a freedom that comes with that, but there's also the nebulous factor to it when haven't completely locked in yet and you're not seeing the benefits right away.
yeah,
It's hard, but
yeah,
I have the fortitude, and I've done this so many times that, you know, I know, I know it's all good. I know this is part of the process. Mercifully, that's one of the great things about getting older is you realize that this too shall pass, and you need to be, it's so cheesy, but get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I mean, my God, like
yeah,
the nebulous world, I feel like I can do it well. And you could drop me in any freaking room and give me any assignment and I'll be able to do it because, that's kind of the world we're in now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. And then another little thing was just, this is in general, I do worry about older folks in the world who don't have, caregivers. A friend was telling me about her neighbor who is dealing with dementia and getting worse, and there's nobody checking on her, nobody helping her, and like she was out in the yard like without a shirt on. Like and I've heard this from many different people, and it's like that's heartbreaking, and I don't know what the answer is, but yeah, that could definitely be better.
Yeah. Oh, that's awful.
Okay, so what went well? What could be better? Okay, what did you learn this week, honey?
Well, I know I'm late to the party on this one, I guess, but on the drive back, when I'm driving alone, I like to listen to podcasts, and I was listening to Smartless, which that's not what I learned. But that's one of my favorite. It's a very light podcast. It's Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Sean Hayes, and they're just, as much as I love their guests, they always have really cool guests. Like the Will Ferrell episode is fantastic, and things like that, right? And Amy Adams was incredible. But on that Amy Adams episode, I'm sorry, but what I really love is how they go at each other. Like they go at each other. And I do believe that, I know they've been friends for decades, and I can hear like me with Tom, my friend, they just are happy to take each other down and ground each other and also support each other. They're hilarious. But that being said, on the Amy Adams podcast, they mentioned another podcast that they like, which was the telemetry tapes, which I know you've mentioned. Telepathy. Sorry. The telepathy tapes. Sorry. See, I'm like, you wouldn't know I listened to like 5 or 6 episodes back to back, but it's a long drive. And the telepathy tapes they didn't really say what it was all about, but they were so cool and it's so intriguing. And then Amy Adams said, yeah, but I did listen to it. I'm not listening now. It just got a little out there. And I was like, oh, that sounds fun. And so I started listening, and it's actually a very, I'll say scientific. They do have scientists on there and researchers on there, but it's all about these, children and young adults with autism, their parents and their teachers, and the fact that the parents have known for a long time, they felt like these kids are reading my mind, like they're knowing things before we articulate them or we share them. They can find things that we've hidden that they didn't even know we had. And teachers who are having the same experience.
Yep.
And this is documented and it's very real, and it does. I don't want to go off on a tangent about this, but the fact that it's almost like, because many of these individuals with autism, because they're nonverbal, it's sort of like when if you lose your sense of smell, your sense of taste, well, that actually isn't a good one. Like you lose your hearing and your eyesight gets better, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like that, like their ability to communicate, because they're nonverbal, they found another way to do that. And I know it sounds crazy and like, but when you listen to the tests that they're literally running on this podcast, and the fact that they come from a place of skepticism first and a desire to prove it, you start to realize, wow, there's really something here. And especially when they get to the scientists, renowned scientists, and they get to the teachers, like to hear the teacher stories. And these people are risking their jobs and risking everything by sharing it. So I learned all about that, or I learned 5 episodes worth of that, and I'll be back on that podcast, but I highly recommend it for anyone. And it was just really, really a great learning and escape for several hours on my way home.
Yeah, honey, it's Beth and Kate and like so many of my close friends were like, we are obsessed with it. Like I think, as I mentioned to you, I couldn't stick with it because I felt the storytelling was taking too long. Like I was
Yeah.
like, come on, faster. Well, why is this? You're meandering and all of that. But like the actual substance of it is, like the scientific part of it is fascinating, and I don't doubt it. I really don't.
Yeah.
It's kind of like extreme empathy. It's extreme, like that's the way I see it. And it's also why I'm so interested in a lot of this neuroscience and autism research. Um, yeah, I think that, yeah, there's communication that, we don't understand fully.
Yeah. But and what they're saying, they being the people that actually have this gift,
Mm-hmm.
what they're saying is it's not that they have it and we don't. It's
Mm-hmm.
that they understand it.
Yeah.
They've grown up with it, and
Yes.
it's been there for them. It's not equal for all of them. Not all of
Yeah.
them are as skilled as others. Not all of them can
Yep.
do the same things. And a lot of that just has to do with the individual or how much they've explored. But it's there for everyone. So
Yep.
it's really interesting. Yeah, but I was during the Smartless podcast, I told you, I was like, people probably drove by and saw me. Like I was that guy in the car alone, laughing my ass off a few times. And it's stuff that's just truly funny. And
Yeah.
then, but during the telepathy tapes, I was, more than once, I was like, come on, land the plane. Come on, bring it home. Oh, and they would do it and then hook me enough to get me into the next
Yeah. Yep.
episode. And some were longer than others, but I think they're trying to be very scientific. So they're
Yes.
over
Oh, yeah,
repetitive.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
They're really coming at it like we know we're trying to convince people or share something that people uh, won't want to accept.
Yeah.
And so they go a little long on that
Yeah.
stuff.
Where
So
I want the
anyhow.
Dateline version. Like, come on.
Right.
Come on. Come on.
All right. How about
Um,
you? What did you learn?
what did I learn? So I have been, okay, this is a shameless shill. This is more what am I teaching rather than what did I learn, but
Okay.
I'm promoting my new Compassionate Mind workshop book club that starts September 18th. And we are now in week 6 of the current cohort, and just teaching it. They say if you really want to learn something, teach it. And literally from teaching it, it's really starting to work for me. And it's basically compassionate mind training. I've talked about it on this podcast a lot, but it's understanding how your mind works and learning how to kind of channel it better, and watch it rather than get caught up in the thought and taken on a crazy tangent or ride. But so that I've been learning a lot from. And then the other thing I continued to explore and learn about what's happening in local news. And we're getting to a place like on a national level in the United States where local television, TV stations, like they're not really going to be local anymore. They're pretty much like 3 big
Mm.
companies that are broadcasting out. They're very one-sided perspectives of politics and whatnot. So I just feel like local news television is becoming like enshittified, and younger generations will not, it's going to turn them all off from it. The old people, the old people are already locked in, but it's not a growth mechanism. It's valuable for when you have an election cycle coming up in November. Yeah, it looks great. But if you go like out, even 10 years, 5 years, these people are going to die. And what do you have left? It's like that. This is the story of media. Then on my personal level, getting local news, I subscribe to a thing called Tap Into, and it's kind of like Patch. It's like one of those kind of local sites, and I subscribe to it because I want information about the town, and it's kind of the only place where I can get that on a consistent basis. And so I learned from the one that came out this weekend that at the most recent borough council meeting, the New Providence Council approved a zoning ordinance restricting large-scale data center developments in the borough, which it's interesting because I knew they did it in Summit, but now they've done it here too.
I'll give it a clap.
And it's I found that very interesting, and just watching the OpenAI situation, jumping topics, and then I'll cut it short. I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place. Focus. But the Ed Zitron newsletter that I read, he's kind of breaking out the finances of everything, and it just does not seem. I just don't see. I know to our kids and to a lot of people who don't know the economics of the AI build out, it seems like, oh, this is a slam dunk. Like, this is some crazy numbers that these companies have to make, and they have to make these numbers fairly soon. And where's the money going to come from? There isn't the demand out there. So at some point, it's kind of like these influencers that like they present to be this great thing, but at a certain point, like there's no there,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And you and I were talking about this. It's truly single digit adoption of all of this stuff, like percentage basis. It isn't, the people that are adopting it are all connected. They all have a voice. So it's a lot of noise. There's a ton of noise. And the adoption is increasing within that under 10%. I think it's like 7%. But in order to really scale to they've raised so much money and burned so much cash, they need to get into the double digits. They need to get up there on adoption, and it's really almost impossible to see how they would.
The local people are all, hell no. Everyone's saying, no, we don't want it. So like and they're not using it. I mean, people are using it, but it's not, even myself, my own usage has gone back quite a bit. I mean, I use it, and it's a very finite use case.
Yeah. I mean, I love the dad comedian that you always share, the local guy or New Jersey guy who,
oh my God, Nicky Cass.
He has a thing about AI, and he's like, how do I tell my wife I don't want to have chicken marsala? It's like,
oh, he's so good. He's so funny, that guy.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, thank you, honey, for taking the time.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. We've got another listener. Awesome. Welcome.
And, welcome, Holly, and all our friends in Australia.
Until next time. Bye.
All righty.